First, before we get into this video, do you notice anything different? This is my natural hair. I got a haircut on Saturday and it's actually like grown out enough to have a proper style, and there's no bald spots or anything, so that's really cool and I'm liking it. So like, I have hair again and it's like normal hair, although it still has retained that thing where like this side spikes out and this side doesn't. I have no idea why, but anyway, let's get started with this video. So I attended, I don't really want to call it a LARP, but it's kind of like a LARP, which is why it's in this category, and it was recommended to me by my LARP group, which is pretty cool. So it's called Cabal, as you could guess by the title, obviously, and it's sort of like, it's like an escape room, but also what they call immersive theater, which is basically LARPing. So anyway, because of my LARP group, I got to go in for their beta testing, so it was free, which was pretty cool. And I will put down any info that I have about them in the description. I did try to contact the organizer when I decided to make this video to promote it because it was so great. So if I have anything about that, it will be in the description. I can tell you that it'll be in Minneapolis and will probably be opening in the fall, I think, because they're doing final test runs in August. So I'm guessing September, October. So what exactly is Cabal? Like I said, it's a combination escape room immersive theater. So the premise of the idea is that you're going to be inducted into a cabal, so into a magical secret society. So you show up, which is, you show up at the location, which is in a warehouse, which is pretty cool. Oh, and because I don't think I said it earlier, because I am all over the place right now, I am not going to be spoiling anything because this is basically like a proper performance, so I won't be giving any spoilers away. I'm just gonna try to describe it and describe what I love about it without actually spoiling the story. So yeah, the premise, as I said, is you're going into a secret magical society to be inducted. So you get to this warehouse in the middle of Minneapolis, and it looks like a warehouse, and you get directed around. Basically the space itself is like artist's warehouse, I think. So it's a warehouse that's been made into like performance spaces and art studios and things like that. So eventually you find this door and it's very cool, like wooden double doors, very mysterious, and you get ushered inside to a Victorian parlor, and then you await your initiation to begin. And that's as far as I'm going to go on the story thing, but I can explain to you how it works. So it's like an escape room in that there are puzzles to solve and you go through multiple rooms, that sort of thing. But what makes it unique is the interactive theater approach. So there are two amazing performers. When I went, it was two actresses, and I think it's going to be consistent, but they did mention they might change up who is playing the parts. I'm not sure. So it was just two people, and they are leading you through this amazing adventure. And so they're performing, obviously. It's not improvised, it is a scripted show, at least as far as I understand, but you're involved in it. So you get to take part in some magic, and obviously you and your compatriots, I suppose, are solving all of the puzzles. But the acting was just absolutely phenomenal. I don't want to give anything away, like I said, but I will say that the girls were playing multiple characters at some point, so the way they could switch between personas and really sell it, honestly, was just mind-blowing. I loved it. Like, I came out and I just started texting everyone, this is the best thing ever, we have to go. Like, I'm going to go again and pay for it, even though I saw it in the beta version, because it was so good, and because obviously when I went it was unfinished, so I want to see what the final changes are going to be like. But yeah, it was just unreal. The ambiance was very well done. You really felt like you were immersed in the story. They have you put your phones and stuff outside like you would in an escape room, so that makes it even easier to be immersed, but that makes it cooler. And because I was there as the resident wheelchair, autistic, PTSD having person. Basically, I was there to test the accessibility of stuff, besides like enjoying the story. I wasn't hired or anything. Like, I volunteered to go because I wanted to do this experience. But since I was there, I emailed them saying, hey, I have this, this, and this. Do you want me to give you like a review of what it would be like for other disabled or autistic or people with, mental illnesses, what it would be like for them? So they said yes. So I did that. And I can tell you that even going in the beta version, it was almost perfect. Like, we had very few notes. I think I said that sometimes the transition between rooms was a little bit rough because the floors were like slightly uneven, so there was a little bump going over, but all the doorways were wide enough. The actors were very good at like navigating around my chair, which was very helpful. in one room there were some pews, like church pews, and so I just said, you know, it might be a little bit easier if you know somebody with a wheelchair is coming, because you book in advance, to just remove one so that that person can be on the wall as well, and then keep the aisle clear for the actors, because I was kind of stuck in the back of the room, which was a little bit hard. Basically, I didn't want to interrupt their performance, so I was like maneuvering around as they were walking around so they didn't hit me, which was kind of funny. But they were really professional. If they needed me to move, they would just say, oh, Anicia, could you move over here, please? It wasn't like interrupting the show at all, which was really nice. In terms of the other conditions, there were a couple noises, but there was nothing that wasn't prompted, and I had been told this ahead of time. So sometimes they cast magic spells because it's a magical society. So if they were doing that, you knew that a noise would come, but none of them were loud, so there weren't any bangs or things like that, which was helpful. There was one scene where there were some flashing lights, so somebody recommended that they put a flashing light warning for that, which they are going to do. But besides that, there was nothing, at least for me, that triggered me to the point of having a panic attack. I don't remember if I've mentioned this, but I have been to an escape room in the past where they had you look at a video, and then there was a very loud bang, and a fake body obviously, fell out of the ceiling in front of you. And when I did that, that did trigger a 10-minute, I think, crying fit and panic attack. So I wanted to be warned ahead of time if anything like that was going to happen, so that I could be prepared and like compose myself. But this Cabal didn't have any of that, which was a welcome relief, because that really ruined my other experience for me, because I had been having so much fun, but then I spent the rest of the puzzle very shaken, and I couldn't stop crying, and it was just very inconvenient, to say the least. So Cabal, like the LARP group that I'm in, is very committed to being like inclusive and diverse and open to everybody. So if you have any questions before you book your tickets, I would recommend just emailing them or contacting them in some way to make sure that all of your concerns are noted. But I would say there really isn't anything to be concerned about. It was an absolutely lovely experience. I adored the performance. I can't wait to go back, and I want to be in a magical secret society, basically. Anyway, that is it for this week, but I hope you guys are having a great day, afternoon, whatever, and I will see you next week. So bye.